Hi guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today we're going to talk about estrogen dominance or an excess of estrogen because I have talked about having a progesterone deficiency, but it kind of goes hand in hand that when you're out of balance with one, you're also out of balance with the other one. Like you usually have too little progesterone compared to too much estrogen. So you want it to be in a balance. And so if you're experiencing low progesterone issues and symptoms, you most likely are experiencing some high or excess estrogen issues as well. Today's video is sponsored by LetsGetChecked. I've worked with them in the past. I think it was a cortisol test I took in the past, and this time I did their progesterone kit and then their female hormone kit, which tests a few different things, which we'll get into. But they are a easy at-home way to test so many things: hormone levels, STIs, COVID, micronutrient levels, and so much more. If you've been around here for a while, I have talked about progesterone deficiencies before because I have suspected I had a progesterone deficiency or just like an imbalance with my hormones, and had dealt with some difficulties in my luteal phase. So I feel like I should balance it out by talking about its counterpart, estrogen. We have a lot of hormones in our body. They're controlling everything, and hormones are so important. A higher production of estrogen by your ovaries really only happens in perimenopause, but more likely if you have an excess of estrogen, it is caused by an impaired metabolism or detoxification. And this can happen at really any point. So we all know our bodies need estrogen, but we want to have a balance of estrogen. We want not too little, not too much, little Goldilocks, just like with every other hormone. We want our body to be processing that estrogen that it is making or getting from other places and getting it out of our body. It's your liver that inactivates estrogen by attaching a little molecule that is called, I wrote out the pronunciation because I'm always like, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. So this little molecule is called a conjugation. But to do this, your liver needs a good supply of nutrients, including folate, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, zinc, selenium, and protein. I also saw during my research for this that women who have more than one drink per day have higher levels of estrogen in their blood. The holidays are coming up, and who doesn't like a nice drink for the holidays? So I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going no alcohol. I'm just going to cut back a bit. But I thought that was interesting that women who have more than one drink per day have higher levels of estrogen in their blood. The next step of this is through your bowels, and this requires healthy gut bacteria. It is amazing once you start digging into how your body works, how it is all connected. So I'll put it on the screen, but I'm going to first share some symptoms of an estrogen dominance and then symptoms of a progesterone deficiency. Some of these you'll see on both lists, so I'm just going to rattle them off for you and I'll put them on the screen. Starting with estrogen dominance: mood swings, irritability, decreased sex drive, worsening PMS symptoms, irregular periods, heavy periods, bloating, weight gain, anxiety, hair loss, trouble sleeping, fatigue, fertility issues, memory issues, and mental fog, hot flashes, and night sweats. And then progesterone deficiency, some symptoms of that: abdominal pain, sore breasts, spotting between periods, vaginal dryness, depression, anxiety, or mood swings, low libido, low blood sugar, hot flashes, night sweats. So some of those are on both lists. Okay, so some diet and lifestyle things you can do to help metabolize estrogen. Like I said earlier, reduce alcohol, maintain a healthy gut bacteria, so things like avoid antibiotics because those can just kind of like mess it up. So if you are taking antibiotics, it's good to like pair that with a probiotic. Maintain a healthy body weight. I feel like this is on every like lifestyle thing you can do. But the reason that this applies to this is our body fat makes estrogen called estrone. We want to avoid endocrine disrupting chemicals like plastics and pesticides. We want to reduce inflammatory foods like sugar, wheat, milk. Eat phytoestrogens, legumes, flaxseed, grains, and vegetables. Some supplements, if you're into that can help metabolize estrogen: Iodine is good for PMS, especially breast pain. Taking a probiotic to promote healthy gut bacteria, like bacteria in our gut, is so important. And there are plenty of things we do, like taking antibiotics, that mess with it. Taking a calcium D-glucarate. These are phytonutrients that are good for PMS. They are also found in things like oranges and broccoli. So saying all of this and talking about like my past and stuff, with just being curious if I had a hormonal imbalance, deficiency, excess, whatever, I thought it would be interesting to take a test to see like where my hormone levels were at. And this is where Let's Get Checked comes in. So I chose their progesterone test and their female hormone test. So the progesterone test is pretty self-explanatory. It just tests your hormone levels on day 21. By looking at the progesterone in your blood, this test can tell you whether you're ovulating normally or not. And then the female hormone test tests your follicle stimulating hormone, your luteinizing hormone, prolactin, and your estradiol levels. So your follicle stimulating hormone is what is responsible for stimulating those follicles in your ovaries to start growing those eggs that are going to be released for ovulation. Your luteinizing hormone plays a part in ovulation, and so when you're taking a ovulation test, it is testing for that spike in the luteinizing hormone that will say, okay, here's the spike, expect to ovulate in the next 24 to 36 hours. Your luteinizing hormone works with your follicle stimulating hormone to trigger the release of the egg for ovulation. Prolactin is made in the pituitary gland and plays a role in breast tissue development and breast milk production. Estradiol is a main form of estrogen, and it plays an important role in our menstrual cycle, as you probably know. It contributes to the maturation and release of eggs, thickens the lining of our uterus to prepare for possible implantation of a fertilized egg, and that's just to name a few. I've been taking some supplements and medication to help with my premenstrual issues, and it has been helping so much, but I'm currently taking a break from Vitex specifically to see if my premenstrual spotting comes back, which I think it might, but I'm trying to make some of these lifestyle changes. So it turns out that all of my levels are within the normal ranges, which is great news. I wasn't expecting that, but also it's better that they're all in the normal range, because then it would have been like, okay, now what do I do to get them within the normal range? But I will be doing some lifestyle changes to help support my hormone levels, the fluctuation, the possible imbalance, as well as other things like my skin, premenstrual spotting, yada, yada, yada. But I plan to make a video on those changes separately, because it's just another video and we've been here for a while. I want to say thank you so much to Let's Get Checked for sponsoring today's video, letting me choose some tests, and it's just been nice to be able to just do it at home. It tells you when to take the test, how to take the test, it just walks you through all of it. The first time I ever took one of their tests, I was so nervous to poke my finger, but it was the most anticlimactic thing ever to actually do it. Like, it is just the tiniest little prick. And I am getting so good at taking like at-home blood tests and like filling up the little tubes. So I'm very proud of myself for that. It's been a fun experience, and it's good to like, you're always kind of like curious about levels. And so it's been fun to actually like see them and get them tested, and yeah, it's just been a great experience. So thank you to Let's Get Checked. And then thank you to you guys for watching today's video. I hope if some things are going on in your cycle, there's maybe this was like, and then there's stuff. So if you want to, so thank you so much for watching today. I will put all the information in the video, and I'll see you guys in the next description box if you want to check those out. But yeah, that's today's video. Don't settle for crappy cycles and crappy periods and not feeling good or like yourself.